Hi guys, thanks for joining me again. And if you're new to my channel, my name is Anne, and on my channel I review foreign international content. So if that's something you like to do or something you're getting into, because we all know when you watch foreign shows, international content, you always have to get over the subtitle, right? You have to read and watch at the same time, but we all know you can conquer it. Before you know it, you are watching shows and you're forgetting your reading. When you get to that point, it's so fantastic. So if foreign shows, international shows is something you're getting into, don't give up. I always say make the font bigger. That will always help with your eyes. And then before you know it, our brains adapt and poof, you are off, and it's just excellent. And we travel around the world sitting on our couches. Like, how cool is that? You know, we're learning languages, culture, we're learning food. I mean, it's fantastic. So that maybe once we go back to traveling, if you ever get to travel to one of the countries you've seen, you'd be like, oh, I know what I want to eat, because you probably saw it in a show. Anyway, without further ado, I'm back today as we travel around the world. Last time we were in Japan. This time we are back to the motherland, Africa, and we're heading down south to South Africa, and they have this show perfect for Christmas season. Happy holidays, everybody. Merry Christmas. And this was such a good find, and it is hilarious and just funny. It's that show that we all need right now, like silly, funny, lighthearted, and just, you know, stress-free, if I would say. So the name of the show is How to Ruin Christmas, the Wedding. And really, off the bat, the show starts off with, I believe her name is Busi Rai, and she is in the middle of a pool and naked with a towel, and she's got that look like, how did I get here? It's almost like if you ever watched Hangover, those shows, and you're just like, oh, whatever she did to get there can be good. So it starts off with that as an opening, and then obviously they take us back to how she ended up there, right? So the story really is, like I said, the lead character is Busi Rai. I think that's how you say that. Sorry about that. And so she, I guess, lives in a different city. Her sister's getting married. And so obviously she comes, she's supposed to be maid of honor. But what's crazy is her sister is getting married on Christmas Day. Like, really? Who gets married on Christmas Day? You are gonna upstage Jesus? OMG. Anyway, that's what she wants to do. She wanted to get married on Christmas Day, just like Jesus. So her sister comes, and the story is told that her sister was never close with the mother and actually was raised by grandma. And then the sister who's getting married, she is like her mother's favorite. And so let's just say, you know, mom is like, don't ruin your sister's wedding. And she's just like, I just got here. Like, really? She's already on her case. And then obviously we're told, you know, the older sister who's come for the wedding has always had, let's just say, has made a lot of mistakes, you know, personal life, in whatever else you can think of. She tends to mess it up. So the mom is like, don't mess up your sister's wedding. Anyway, then in the midst of all this, it's really, I love how excellent they did the show with showing the idea of classism, if you will. So the girl who's getting married, it seems like maybe they're more from a middle class economic status, and then she's getting married to this handsome boy who comes from a very rich family, and his family is very flamboyant. I mean, the father was so just what's the word? Just very, very narcissistic, but really fun to watch. I mean, he is so worried about the image and how it looks. There'll be cameras. I mean, he's talking about Black Twitter will drag him. That was so funny. But he's just so obsessed with how everything looks. And then we have his wife who has her nose up in the air, who is like, we're better than you because we have money. I mean, to the point where she's talking to her future would-be daughter-in-law and saying, oh, when you marry my son, you may not have to work again. You know, just stuff like that. And then obviously her family is like, don't look down on us. And by the way, I so loved her family's uncles and aunt. That was funny. The uncle with the sheep, I'm sorry. That was too funny. But anyway, so as the story progresses, we are told when she comes to help the sister, she once again gets herself in trouble. She's hanging out at night, and one of the guests who's there, and actually I believe it was the sister of the groom, she's married. Her husband is a recovering alcoholic, and he is so exhausted because his wife wants them to have a child, and just the trying process and all that stuff. He's just exhausted, doesn't want to do it, kind of over it. It's become a job and it's not fun anymore. So he walks downstairs by the pool and meets the sister, and they just start talking. Before you know it, she's like, you want to have a drink? And he's like, should I have it? And obviously she doesn't know that he's a recovering alcoholic, gives him the drink. They start drinking and party. Before you know it, they both end up in the pool. Now they're now drunk. One thing leads to another, and they have sex. And then he disappears because he's completely drunk, and she is stuck on the pool with the floaty, and that's where she sleeps. So the next morning, people wake up and they're like, what are you doing on the pool? And that's when she was just like, OMG, what am I doing on the pool? And then it all comes back to her like, oh my God, I just didn't do that. Did I just sleep with him? And did I just sleep out here? And am I naked? So let's just say she's pretty much embarrassed, and obviously they found out that she slept with him. So now she has to clean up that mess. And then in the process, she's trying to help her sister to get married. And the sister who's about to get married reveals to her that one of the things that she would like is to have her dad walk her down the aisle. And she's just like, look, dad has never been around for us. Why would you even bother to go find him now? He remarried, he's with his family, he never checks in with us. So why would you even, waste your time with that? Anyway, so that's what she wants. So, you have to support your sister. They go looking for the father. By the way, that scene was so tough to watch. And I don't want to give everything because I want you to watch it, but you have to see that father is what they call a deadbeat. Like, he was awful. And the information that he shared about what happened to him and the mother, that was too much. Anyway, so then they proceed to go with the preparations of the wedding. And in the process of that, the sister who's getting married also shares that she's pregnant, but has not told the groom. And I believe the pregnancy was not by him. We got issues. So she is like telling her sister, I was not supposed to tell anybody this. Don't say anything. This could ruin my wedding. Any chance of happiness, please. Okay. And she's like, yep, obviously I would never do that, And so, which is kind of interesting. Like, would you want to be pregnant with another man, and the person you love, you get married and don't tell them and kind of trick him to think that was his? That was a little bit like, girl. Because I think eventually he finds out. I mean, you'd have to pray the kid looks like the guy, right? Anyway, so as the wedding progresses, there's like back and forth between these two families, the one that are rich feeling uppity, and then you got the ones who are like, just because we don't have much, you can't, talk to us or look down on us. And they were having some sort of a exchange, altercation or whatever. And the older sister, trying to protect her sister who's getting married, is like, confronts them. And as she's doing that, ends up blurting out like, you don't even know if she's pregnant, and totally tells everybody. And the groom is sitting there like, what do you mean she's pregnant? Because the way it's told, it seems like they've never obviously been together. So he clearly is like, that cannot be mine, right? So now all of a sudden, the wedding is off, okay? And it's a whole lot of mess. So it feels like this older sister's life is just a series of just mess ups and mess ups and mess ups. And it's like, almost like she's trying to figure out, why am I such a mess up? And then in the process of all that, a boyfriend that she used to have comes in the scene, who, by the way, we are told that he really loved her, and they have a good night, and she wakes up and leaves and is gone, and he never sees her ever again. And he's like, who does that? Like, we had a thing. And then she was like, I didn't think it was that serious. I just thought it was one of those one night stands, and then that's it. And he's like, no, so it just shows like she's got some issues with just never commits to anything. And when she shows up to something, she's gonna make it worse. There's a little bit of this show that reminds me of, if you ever watch My Best Friend's Wedding, Julia Roberts' character, where she just comes to the wedding and just makes everything a mess. And really most of the show is her trying to clean up her messes. I mean, at one point she ends up in jail. Her mother has to come and get her out. But that was interesting. I think it shows the way her life started. The mother does say she was 17 when she had her. And that's why she had grandma raise her, because she was like, I was a child too. So then there's that detachment from her mother, who gave birth to her. She didn't have a relationship with her. Then there's the father issue. You have to watch about that. So it just seems like all this issues has created more issues in her personal life, and it's just becoming a roller coaster. But it was such a fun movie. And the way it ends, clearly it's teed up for a second season, and I would love to see a second season on this one. It is so much fun. It's just light, easygoing. I hope in the second season they will give us more, develop the main character, more of like, it would be interesting to hear more about, how she became who she is, why she's stuck in series of mess ups, just because it felt rushed. And it looked a little bit like they was just showing all the mess up, and sometimes it felt a little disjointed. It would be good to know, like, see, because of this, that's why this. So hopefully with the second season we can really dive in. But I thought it was really good. It was good filmography. It was good acting. The music. Oh, they even have Jerusalem on this show. Oh, it was just excellent. So an excellent show to watch. South Africa doing its thing like it always does. I would definitely recommend you watch it. It's on Netflix, which is fantastic. Thanks to Netflix, we can watch foreign international content. So once again, thank you so much for joining me. Go ahead and subscribe, turn the notification button on so that the next time I'm reviewing another foreign international show, you will be notified. Thank you, and I'll see you again. Deuces.